Bismillah, alhamdulillah, assalamu alaikum to my young brothers and sisters. Time is passing. We've been blessed, alhamdulillah, to make it to another Ramadan. And we want to really make the most out of this time. Don't trick yourself. Don't fool yourself thinking that you got a long life to live. Because if you just take a trip to the graveyard, you will see on the tombstones, you'll see the old, you'll see the middle age, and you'll see the young, because death is a reality. So let's start off with that. I'm going to cover three simple points. One is the reality of this thing called death, which many people, they either, when the topic comes up, they'll make a joke about it, they'll quickly divert from the topic. But we as Muslims, we are supposed to remember often the destroyer of pleasures, remember the reality of this life, and that's with pondering and reflecting over death. And this polishes the heart. It puts things in perspective. You see, and the Prophet ﷺ, the last and final messenger sent to mankind, he didn't come to have us hate this dunya, but he came to expose it for what it really is. And it's a transitory life. You know, he said, be in this life as if you're a traveler. So let's put these things together. Okay, if we're travelers, death is coming. Okay, I think, what am I just going to play Xbox all day? I'm going to play games and what, just waste my time, waste my life? No. You have been put on this earth for a reason. You've been put here by the creator of the heavens and the earth, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most wise. He chose you. And now you're here. Second point, you really got to consciously, we got too many people, they're Muslim by the name tag, but it's empty. It's like an empty shell. No. The advice here is this should motivate you to really consciously understand Islam, be well grounded in it, know that there's nothing out there like Islam. It's simple, easy to understand. I'll give you some things that are, so you can understand things that are confusing, right? Tax code is confusing. The attorney lingo, this is confusing. Islam is not. Straightforward and simple to understand. Worship the one God, the creator of the heavens and earth. Be morally upright and prepare for what comes next after this life. So we moved on to point number 2 is, how are you going to do all these things? What's going to motivate you is the knowledge. The knowledge, the more you learn Islam, the more you're convinced that indeed it is the truth from the creator of the heavens and earth. It can come from no one else. And so the more you have yaqeen, certainty, the more your iman starts to go up. And now you're ready for what comes next, for what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told you to do. So now we get to the third point. So we talked about quickly the remembrance of death, putting things into perspective, that this dunya is short. And then 2, now that should drive us towards the truth, which is the deen, which is Islam. And now we have to be grounded in it, well grounded in it. And when we're grounded in it, now we start to lovingly, patiently, we start to excitingly, we start to implement what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us to do. And number 1 is worshiping Him and Him alone. This Tawheed, this pure monotheism. We have to hold firmly to the Tawheed. Second is, we have to establish the prayer 5 times a day. We got to wake up for Fajr, brothers and sisters. We have to wake up for Fajr. And then what goes on? You have to have this internal alarm clock in your head, knowing that, okay, is it Dhuhr time? Is it Asr time? We can't just nonchalantly, all the prayer times are just passing us by. No, you have to, because what? Death, and then the certainty, right? The yaqeen based on knowledge. And now you're not playing, you're not taking it as a joke. And now we're in blessed month of Ramadan, and we're not even taking that as a joke. You got to fast, all right? And Allah don't need it, we need it. We need it. And now we're in this spiritual boot camp. Now this is a mercy for us to have reached this month of Ramadan. And things, now you have this whole lockdown with this whole corona and everything. And now for those people who are just out and about and just couldn't just contain themselves, now you're forced to contain yourself during this lockdown. Now you really want to get the most out of it. So that's my advice. Get the most out of it. Remember that we're going to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we want to make sure that we're well prepared, we're grounded in our deen, and just spending time learning your deen, you're getting rewarded for it. It's amazing. And Ramadan is that time right now that you connect with Allah, put all the plain amusement to the side with the book of Allah, the Quran, study this deen, watch lectures, watch talks, beneficial things, okay, that are going to help to increase your iman. And remember that at the end, what do we have? What are we going to have to show at the end when finally the destroyer, Malakul Maut, comes to take our souls? What did we shoot? What did we accomplish? Were we just imitating the people on the big screen, the rappers, the musicians? Is that who we took? Those people who are on drugs and who are alcoholics and people whose lives are flipped upside down? Or are we taking for the best example, the best of generations, and the best human being to walk on earth, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Are we leaving a legacy behind? And this is what we look forward to coming from the next generations. You guys, the youth. You guys, you can just be a statistic and fit in like everybody else, and then you just wasted your whole life. Or you can leave a legacy of goodness. You could be a good human being, leaving a good legacy behind, and that's only going to come by implementing your deen, living it to its full potential, getting out there, making a difference in the world. And you got one shot, you got one life, and that's it. So this is my advice for you guys. Have a blessed, happy Ramadan. And you can find me at the Deen Show every week. We're there sharing a new episode. I hope this advice goes from me to you, and inshallah can make an impact. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.